Have you ever noticed how time seems to accelerate, as if weeks blur past like days and entire years vanish like pages torn from the book of your own life? Have you wondered why the feeling of reality becomes increasingly fragile, indistinct, as if you're looking at the world through a shimmering, heated haze? Believe me, this isn't just ordinary fatigue or daily stress. It's a symptom that the very fabric of our reality is thinning, slowly but surely preparing for an inevitable rupture. What you're about to hear is not just another mundane theory, of which there are many. This is the key. The key to a complete understanding of everything happening around us and everything yet to come. And this key can forever change your perspective, unlocking the hidden mechanism that governs the very destiny of humankind. But before we step into this chilling mystery, allow yourself to take a deep, calming breath. And if you feel you've arrived here by chance, if something deep within you resonates with these words, then without delay, give this video a like. Share it with those who, like you, seek answers, and be sure to subscribe to Veil Breaker. Don't forget to hit the bell so no important signal passes you by. And if something greater calls to you, if you are drawn to the deepest secrets and knowledge that we cannot reveal to a broad audience, then it's worth considering becoming a member of our private community. Your support is not just a financial contribution, it is your personal investment in the great awakening of humanity. So it is time to reveal the central secret that has been meticulously hidden from us for centuries. Each of us has heard of the year 2012 and the mysterious Mayan calendar. Mockery, jokes, loud Hollywood blockbusters. All of this was carefully planned to discredit the greatest prophecy in the history of all humankind, to turn sacred, hallowed knowledge into a cheap pop cultural farce. But they made a mistake. They directed our attention to the wrong date and the wrong cycle. The matter was never about one specific day of a fateful apocalypse. It was about the completion of the great cycle, a slow, colossal cosmic breath lasting 26,000 years, the precession of the equinoxes, and this cycle isn't simply nearing its end. It's concluding here and now, quite literally before our very eyes. The ancient Maya were far more than just skilled astronomers. They were true galactic timekeepers, guardians of the very cosmic clock that measures the passage of ages. They knew that humanity, much like the Earth itself, journeys through repeated cycles of consciousness evolution. Every 26,000 years, our entire solar system completes a full revolution around the center of our galaxy, sequentially passing through various energetic zones. And now, precisely in these days, we are leaving the darkest, densest zone, the one referred to in Vedic texts as the Kali Yuga, and entering a realm of the highest vibrations, the photon belt of boundless light. This is not merely another shift of eras. It is a time of a global, all-encompassing reboot of humanity itself. Imagine a complete reformatting of the old operating system, built on a foundation of fear, disunity, and total control, and the simultaneous installation of a new one, based on unwavering unity, all-pervading light and profound awareness. Does this seem like mere wild imagination, something from the realm of fantasy? But allow me to invite you to listen to those who have managed to peer through the veil of time, who have seen the future. The great Michael Nostradamus, in his mysterious encrypted quatrains, spoke not of a succession of specific wars or local conflicts. His prophecies concerned far grander changes. A great mutation of the human race, which, according to him, was to follow fire from the sky and long disagreements. And this very fire from the sky is not an asteroid falling with a roar. It is rather a flow of colossal galactic energy that is now, right here and now, descending upon our planet. It activates our dormant DNA, awakening its latent potential, while simultaneously burning away anything that doesn't align with the new, elevated frequencies of existence. And what of the blind prophetess from Bulgaria, Baba Vanga? Her words, so often distorted and pulled from context, actually pointed to this very pivotal time. She said people's consciousness will change. Difficult times would come, filled with trials. People would begin to divide, guided by their beliefs, sometimes even their deepest faith. All that was old, all that was familiar, would fade away, and the new would be born in agony, in suffering, and in confusion. She wasn't speaking of changing political borders on the world map. She spoke of a far deeper vibrational schism, This division would not occur within geographical limits, but within each person, penetrating every family. It will divide those who still cling to the old world, a world of materialism and selfish pursuits, from those who choose the path towards light, towards spiritual awakening. Yet this knowledge, this truth, does not belong to a select few. An anonymous medieval scribe, known as the Monk of Padua, in his once lost, now rediscovered treatise Speculum Futuri, wrote, "When the iron serpent, like a giant web of wires, encircles the earth, and people gain the ability to speak to one another through shining stones like magical mirrors, the time of the great sifting will arrive, the heavens will open, and the souls of all will be weighed on the scales of truth." And what do the ancient Indian astrologers, the tireless keepers of ageless hidden knowledge, say? They assert that we have entered Sandhya, a sacred transitional period, dividing ancient eras from new ones, a time of immense chaos, but also of unprecedented opportunities. They say that in these moments, karmic laws accelerate 1,000-fold, and a single year lived in full awareness can equate to 100 years in ordinary, sleeping existence. Even behind the tightly shut doors of official science, truly strange things are occurring. Insiders from closed astrophysical laboratories, risking everything, anonymously report inexplicable, powerful energy surges emanating from the very heart of our galaxy. They speak of the sun's peculiar, seemingly conscious behavior, which they believe is engaged in a unique dialogue with this cosmic center. Scientists dedicating themselves to unraveling the mysteries of quantum physics confess in hushed, confidential conversations that the collective consciousness of the observer truly possesses the ability to influence the very fabric of reality. And what we are experiencing now might just be a grand collective paradigm shift, triggered by some enigmatic external catalyst. They cannot speak these words aloud, for it would mean the dismantling of all their science's fundamental underpinnings, and consequently the loss of their funding. But they know, they see these patterns, these relentless numbers. Now open your eyes and look at the world around you. Align ancient prophecies with the freshest headlines of today's news. Doesn't the precision seem astounding? We are witnessing unprecedented climatic anomalies. Where drought reigned for centuries, floods now rage, and fires consume entire continents. This is more than just climate change. It's the Earth, a living being, shedding its old skin. Her energetic meridians, her ley lines, are coming alive, igniting tectonic shifts and weather chaos. This is her own ascension process. Look at the political tensions. The world teeters on the brink of global conflict. This is the death throes of an old power system built on divide and conquer. The control structures that have governed us for thousands of years feel their time is running out. They sow fear, chaos, wars, to lower our vibrations, to keep us trapped within their matrix. Economic crises, inflation, the threat of financial system collapse, these are not accidents. This was the deliberate dismantling of the old foundation, designed to instill fear of the future, so we wouldn't even dare to dream of something new. And what of the recent solar eclipses and planetary alignments? For ancient wise ones knew these were no mere captivating astronomical events. They were precisely those moments when gates to other dimensions opened, when Earth seemed to receive the most powerful streams of light codes, the very information necessary for our evolutionary leap. Each such temporal portal is, in essence, an invitation to a quantum jump. Have you noticed how, after the latest eclipses, all conflicts intensified, how the darkest and most unsightly aspects of people seem to surface? But simultaneously, many experienced astonishing insights, sudden awakenings of consciousness. This is how these cosmic energies operate. They are like spotlights, illuminating all that had long been hidden in shadow. And what do you yourself think? Have you felt anything similar? Have you ever experienced an inexplicable soul-piercing anxiety, or conversely, a sudden surging tide of inspiration on days marked by these mysterious celestial events? Have you noticed how the familiar world around you seems to divide into two distinct camps? On one side, those who plunge ever deeper into the abyss of fear and all-consuming apathy, and on the other, those who, like moths to a flame, seek true light and tirelessly strive for their own development. We must now decisively shift our focus, for the true collapse, spoken of so often by ancient prophets, is not happening outside. not in the external world. It is happening deep within us, at the very core of our being. Wars, natural disasters, and all manner of catastrophes are merely a pale reflection, an elusive shadow of the main, unseen battle waged in the depths of human souls, the battle for the depths of human consciousness. It is about the collapse of our old, familiar human identity, about the shattering fall of the ego which, like a tireless builder, had erected its millennial empire on the fragile sands of fear and immeasurable pride. What we today tend to call the depression epidemic, emotional burnout, or the crisis of meaning in life are not actually illnesses in the usual sense. They are merely vivid symptoms of a global systemic reboot. Our soul, if you will, is literally rejecting outdated, obsolete programs, much like a healthy body ridding itself of a foreign object. It is no longer capable of existing in falsehood. It can no longer sate its hunger with the surrogates of happiness that the ubiquitous matrix tirelessly offers us. Endless consumption, the feverish pursuit of elusive status, tenacious digital addiction. Imagine, if you will, a crown woven from the finest, almost weightless glass. A crown that each of us carries with us from birth. This crown represents our ego, our fragile identity, our ingrained beliefs, imposed upon us by society like a heavy burden. Now, under the influence of these cosmic, all-pervading rays, the glass that encases you begins to tremble. At first it's barely perceptible, like a whisper of wind, but then the vibration intensifies, becoming ever more powerful and insistent. The first fine fault lines appear across its surface, cracks heralding the inevitable. These are precisely the moments when the established order of your life, which seemed so unshakable, suddenly and ruthlessly crumbles. Perhaps you lose a beloved job, or relationships that bound you to someone dear shatter into dust, or maybe something most precious, your health, is undermined. In such times, it feels as though the world is plunging into an abyss, as if this is an unavoidable tragedy. However, believe me, this is far from the truth. In reality, this is the sacred cleansing sound of destruction, a sound that rips you from your own self-created prison. The crown, woven from this fragile, deceptive glass, must shatter into thousands of pieces with a crash, so that you can finally perceive the true, real world in all its magnificence and remember who you truly are, forgetting the imposed roles. And look closely how the old rotten system tries with all its might to prevent this liberation. It persistently offers us to replace our living, beating in unison hearts with soulless, cold mechanisms. It seems to have woven metal veins, pulsing with artificial life, of social networks into us, where we paradoxically substitute real, living communication with mere faded digital surrogates. It strives to dissolve us into the abysses of artificial intelligence, luring us with promises of eternal life in a wondrous digital paradise. But instead, an endless, soulless digital captivity awaits us. This path of transhumanism, this road to the loss of the very essence of humanity, this is the final desperate attempt of the old fading matrix to retain its power, to consume us, to prevent us from making such a long-awaited evolutionary leap. They want us to turn away from our bodies, from our true feelings, from our deep spiritual nature, exchanging them for the honed, predictable, completely controlled logic of a soulless machine. However, it is precisely here, in the very heart of this approaching storm, that our greatest hope lies. This coming collapse, this all-consuming chaos, this is not the end of the world. This is sacred, necessary destruction. This is an agonizing yet vital trial that all humanity is destined to face. The universe does not inflict punishment upon us. Instead, it seeks to awaken us. But how does one rouse someone lost in such a deathly, unshakable slumber? First, they must be gently shaken, as if trying to stir them awake. If this yields no desired effect, shake them more forcefully with greater persistence. And if even after that nothing changes, then, without any hesitation, an entire bucket of ice-cold, searing water must be poured over them. The global crises we are currently experiencing are precisely that bucket of ice-cold water hurled upon us. This is, in essence, a purification process, a trial by fire. Everything false, insincere, and built upon illusion must burn away irretrievably. Our deeply ingrained false beliefs, our destructive toxic attachments, our all-consuming fears, our outdated, exhausted political and economic systems, all of this is turning to dust, to ash. And this, without a doubt, causes pain. It is frightening, it terrifies to the core. But only on the scorched ash heap of a departing world, freed from all that came before, can something absolutely new, entirely different, sprout and begin to grow. A world where genuine cooperation reigns, not rivalry. A world built not on endless consumption, but on creation and artistry. A world where the cold intellect of the ego does not dominate, but the deep, all-encompassing wisdom of the heart. This is not merely a dream. It is the birth of a new humanity. Humanity of the sixth race, entering a new era. And so we have arrived at the most important thing, at the very essence of what is happening. You are not merely an observer of this grand cosmic spectacle unfolding before us. You are one of its primary active participants. Right now, in this very inevitable second, you are making your choice. With every thought, every spoken word, every experienced emotion, you cast your vote. You are choosing one of two paths, one of two fundamentally different worlds, one of two diverging timelines of existence. You can allow yourself to remain in a state of sleep. You are free to continue believing the grim narrative of fear that is so intensely broadcast to you from screens. You can succumb to all-consuming panic, incinerating anger, destructive division. In such a case, your precious energy will become sustenance for the old fading matrix, prolonging its agonizing death throes and drawing you onto its timeline, a timeline of total control, digital enslavement, and inevitable soul loss. But there is another way. The path to awakening. You can realize that all that is happening now is nothing less than a grand, all-encompassing evolutionary process. You can consciously disconnect from the endless stream of fear and switch to the quiet, yet confident voice of your own heart. You can begin the meticulous work on yourself, cleansing your consciousness of the unnecessary, raising your vibrations through deep meditation, through boundless love, through sincere compassion, through unity with wise nature. Your awakened awareness, your inner radiant light. This is not a passive stance. It is the most powerful, irresistible weapon in the entire universe. Every awakening person becomes a shining beacon, a reliable anchor for the emerging high-vibration reality on our planet. In essence, it is you, with your unique vibrations, who are weaving the new fabric of being, woven from light and love. Do not expect saviors to appear from the heavens. Saviors are ourselves. This is you, this is me, each of us who finds the courage to look beyond the veil of illusions and consciously choose the path of light. This majestic cosmic cycle, spanning 26,000 years, is drawing to a close. But this is not an end meant to destroy us. Instead, it is a unique opportunity for us to complete the final stage of the School of Duality and move on to the next level in the boundless university of the universe. This is our final graduation exam. And we are taking it right now. Therefore, if this message has ignited an unquenchable fire in your soul, do not let it fade. Act. Our final call is not just a request, but a sincere invitation to co-create, to participate in the greatest shift in history. When you like and share this video, you do far more than simply help promote the content. You send a powerful signal, like a brilliant flash of light, into the vast informational field. In doing so, you help other searching souls, those on a spiritual quest, find this guiding beacon. By subscribing to Veilbreaker and hitting the notification bell, you become more than just a viewer. You merge into a global network of awakened consciousness, becoming part of our family, a family of light warriors. And if you feel ready to go even further, if your heart responds to the call of a mission to be at the forefront of the coming changes, then become a channel member. This will grant you access to exclusive materials, to those deeper layers of information that are too potent and concentrated for the general public, as well as to our private broadcasts and healing meditations. And if you have the means, support our mission by utilizing the Super Thanks feature. Every contribution, no matter its size, helps us keep this bright flame alive, to relentlessly combat censorship and to bring the light of truth to those who desperately need it in these challenging, often dark times. This is your direct, invaluable contribution to creating a new world, a better world. Until our next meeting, remain aware,